All right, welcome back. We're busting out SOHCAHTOA. We're busting out trig ratios, drawn right triangles, reference triangles. We're also looking at the new Magic Gathering set coming up, and that is Trig Dragon Storm. Woo! Yeah, Dragon Storm. And so a student actually drew a dragon for me. Can you see it? It's kind of hard to see over here. Yeah. Got a picture of a dragon. Picture of again. Cool. So thanks again for being here while we run through this practice test with you. Make sure you ace it. Make sure to try it on your own first. Try it on your own first and then check your answers, right? Okay, write 6 trig functions. You need to know the 6 trig functions. You gotta know them. Know them by heart. Know them. So from the angle, we label the triangle opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Right, across. Break a window. Break a window. That's the opposite side, also known as OPP. The adjacent side is closest to the angle. It actually has 2 adjacent sides. It has this adjacent side and this adjacent side. But this one is special because it's across from 90 degrees. It's also the biggest one. Across from 90 degrees, it's also the biggest side. And that's why it's the hypotenuse. Nice. And this is the adjacent side. Cool. So sine is going to be opposite over adjacent. And so the practice test answer with letters would be opposite B over hypotenuse C. So B over C, right? Opposite over adjacent. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's ADJ. There we go. So adjacent over hypotenuse. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. So cosine is adjacent. So that's A over hypotenuse C. So that's A over C. Good. Did you get those right? I hope you did. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. So in this case, it'd be B over A. Right? Opposite B over adjacent A. Opposite over adjacent. Cotangent is flipped. Cotangent is flipped. So that's adjacent over opposite. So that would be adjacent A over opposite B. Cosecant is the same as 1 over sine, so flipped. So that's hypotenuse over opposite. So that would be hypotenuse C over opposite B. And then secant is 1 over cosine, or cosine flipped, with hypotenuse over adjacent. So hypotenuse C over adjacent A. Way-o, there we go. Do it again on the test, right? Ace it, you got this. Do it on the test, ace it. Okay, do you remember the 3 special numbers that go with the 45, 45, 90 right triangle?
Do you remember?
So we're using unit circle basically. Unit circle of 1. So we're actually gonna use the legs as 1 to make it easier, is what we learned this year. So that means that if this side is 1, it's 45, 45, 90, the sides are the same. So that means this side is 1, right? This side is 1. Doesn't matter which one in this one, but across from the 45 degrees we'll say is the opposite. And that means this is adjacent, and this is hypotenuse. But what is the hypotenuse side? Well, it's also 1, but it's times a special number. Do you remember the special number? So the special number is rainbow. It's radical 2, radical 2. Over here at 30, 60, 90, across from the 60 degrees is going to be radical 3. Just saying. It's kind of advanced there. Cool. Okay, so then cosine of 40. What is cosine of 45 degrees? Well, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And so, depending on if it's negative or positive, let's see, label the lengths for the sides of the triangles below, then find the requested trig ratio. So we're not necessarily on an x-axis or y-axis. We're not doing negatives yet. We will down below. Okay, so this will just be adjacent over hypotenuse. So 1 over 1 times radical 2 is just radical 2. So 1 over radical 2. Can't have a radical in the bottom, so we do have to rationalize the denominator by timesing it to the top and the bottom. And so 1 times radical 2 is radical 2. 2 times 2 is 4, still in the radical. And the square root of 4 is 2. So cosine 45 degrees is radical 2 over 2. Cotangent would be adjacent over opposite. So adjacent 1 over opposite 1, so that'll just be 1. Secant is 1 over cosine, so that's flipped. So that's hypotenuse over adjacent. And that's going to be radical 2 then over adjacent 1. Which is just radical 2. Just radical 2. Cool. What about 30, 60, 90? What about 30, 60, 90? So 60 degrees we're going to label because of right there. We're going to label this as the opposite side. So whatever degree it is, that's the opposite side across from that basically. So then we also have the short leg, long leg, hypotenuse. So my left leg is longer than my right just by 2 inches. So this is the long leg, this is the short leg, this is the hypotenuse. So the short leg we're always going to label as 1. Label as 1. Label as 1. And this will be 1 times radical 3, and this will be 1 times radical 2. Okay, so this will also be from the 60 degrees, the opposite side. So opposite, this will be the adjacent, this will be the hypotenuse. So we're doing sine. So sine is opposite of our hypotenuse. So what's opposite the 60 degrees? Radical 3. And the hypotenuse is, oh, interesting. I made a mistake. Whoopsie. Made a mistake. So the mistake is that it's not radical 2. No. It's just regular 2. It's just regular 2. So the hypotenuse, if this is 1, and this is 1, let's do it in blue. So if this is 1, that's 1. This is radical 3, and then this is regular 2. Or if you want to say the short leg, 1 times 2, which is just 2. Cool. So that means it's going to be radical 3 over 2. Is our answer for sine 60 degrees? Nice. Tangent is of 60 degrees is opposite over adjacent. So that's radical 3 over 1, which is just radical 3. And then cosecant of 30 degrees now is 1 over sine of 30 degrees. That's going to change it. That's going to be a new opposite. New opposite over hypotenuse. So that's going to be a new opposite. So now 30 degrees. This is now labeled as the opposite side. This one's labeled as the adjacent side. We still use 1 in radical 3. And so this is going to be 1 over, or we can just flip it, which cosecant is flipped. So that's actually hypotenuse over opposite. Okay, so hypotenuse is 2 over the opposite side. And the opposite side now is 1. The short leg. Which is just the answer 2. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to try it with lots of different positions. That means there's negative numbers. Left or down is negative. Okay, let's see here. So sine of 30 degrees. So then let's see. Where's 30 degrees? 30 degrees is right here. That's 30 degrees. Then we draw a right angle. And so this is going to be opposite as well as the short leg. This is going to be adjacent side here. We are going right and up, so both positive. Because we're going right and we're going up. Okay, let's see here, because we're in the first quadrant. It's all positive. Okay, let's see here. So then, let's see, this is going to be, so both positive. This is going to be opposite short leg. This is going to be adjacent. So long leg, long leg. That's just the bell. Lunch is over, and 7th period coming in. Woo! Okay, so that's going to be the long leg, and then this is going to be the hypotenuse. Okay, so short leg, short leg, short leg is always 1. And then this is going to be, the long leg is going to be radical 3, and the hypotenuse is going to be 2. And why is radical 3? It's actually 1.73 approximately. Okay, so what is sine? Sine is opposites. Opposites, 1 over hypotenuse, 2. There we go. So sine is 30 degrees is 1/2. Right? 1/2. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Because that's over radical 3, up. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so then we're going to try cosecant next of 120 degrees. So we go all the way around, so that's 90 degrees, and then 120 is just 30 degrees more. So there it is. So that's 120 degrees. Then we draw our reference triangle like this. Draw a reference triangle. Beautiful. So then that's 120 and this is 180. So how much more to 180? So 60 degrees more. So that means our reference angle is going to be 60 degrees. There we go. Just making a video. So then that's going to be that this is a 30, 60, 90. This is the opposite side. It's also across from 60 degrees, so it's the radical 3 side. And then it's going up, so it's positive. And then this is the adjacent side, which is also known as the short leg. And so that adjacent side is going to be a 1, but it's actually going to be a -1. -1, we have radical 3. And that means hypotenuse is 2. Hypotenuse is 2. Cool. Okay, so we want cosecant. So cosecant is the same as cosecant is the same as 1 over sine. So basically sine flipped, which is hypotenuse over opposite. Right? So then it's going to be hypotenuse, which is 2, over opposite, which is radical 3. And then you can't have a radical on the bottom, so we're going to go ahead and rationalize the denominator. So we're going to times radical 3 times radical 3. So we end up with, as our answer, final answer, we end up with 2 radical 3 all over 3 times 3 is 9, square root of 9 is 3. So our answer to cosecant of 120 degrees is the all super tough 2 radical 3 over 3. Way-o. Cool. And then what's negative 315 degrees? Wow. So that's going to be all the way around. So that's what, negative 180, negative 90, negative 270. So 300, 315. So that's actually going to make a, how much more to get to, negative 360? How much more? Basically, we're asking for the reference angle. So how much more is that? So that's, that'd be negative 45 degrees more. And so then our reference angle is positive. Because reference angle is always positive, always positive. So then we draw a right triangle there. And this time it's a 45, 45, 90, which means it's going to be 1 and radical 2. And this will be opposite adjacent hypotenuse. And so this is asking for adjacent. And so let's double check the signs though. We're going right and we're going up. So that's positive 1 and positive 1. Good. So it should be 1 over 1, which is 1. Cool. So can't use calc on first part of test. And because some of those problems, you can just plug it in to check your answer. Let's give it a try. I'm going to go to math button. I'm going to go to mode, make sure I'm back in degrees, just to check your answer right now. So first we'll do sine of 30 degrees is a half, which we got. That was the answer for this guy. Then we'll also do tangent of negative 315, which is just supposed to be 1. Which is just supposed to be 1, and it is 1. Woo! Okay, get started with 7th period class. Thanks guys for coming. And I'll do another video. Thanks for watching. And bye for now. Bye for now. Don't forget dragons. Dragons for Method Gathering. Tuck here. Bye for now.